This is part 2 of my work planner series. Today I'm finishing the setup and then going into detail on how I actually use these different sections and inserts in order to plan out a work week. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I recommend watching it first, so I'll link the video in the description down below. In part 1, we left off at the monthly list, which I'm keeping for each month on the sheet that appears before the tab for that specific month in the Work Plus Life Planner. So January's monthly list appears before the January monthly calendar. And as a reminder, the purpose of the monthly list is to house my scheduled events and meetings, tasks with deadlines, and tasks that I would like to complete during that specific month. If I happen to run out of space for my tasks, then I can easily add a blank piece of filler paper for any extra tasks. And we'll go over how this monthly list works with weekly planning a little later on in this video. This year, I'm going to use the monthly calendar for the meetings and presentations that are scheduled, as well as when the coworkers that I work directly with will be out of the office. I previously had been using full box stickers, but to save money on stickers this year, I want to try out stencils. The meetings are categorized by type using a different color and shape, so I can quickly find what I'm looking for. I need a month at a glance view of this information because I will often get questions from other lab members about the times, dates, and cancellations for that month's meetings or events. So it really helps to be able to see it all on one page. If a meeting gets canceled for the current month, this is the section that gets updated with that information in my planner. My plan is to set up the monthly as I'm processing this month's monthly list during the 4th week of the month. So for example, during the 4th week of January, I'm going to set up February's monthly layout. After the monthly layout, there is a sheet that has a section for your goals for the month. So I'm just going to write my main goal for the month, something that I really want to make sure I get done. And then I'm going to use this section to brainstorm any sort of action steps that I need to take in order to achieve this goal. So now, because I have some action steps, I want to add this to my monthly list and assign due dates so that I can achieve my goal by this day. I'm going to say that by January 6th, I want the blocks cut. January 12th, I want to have finished all of the ddPCRs. And then January 16th, I want to have all of the graphs finished. As I'm planning out my week, I will see this and make sure that I add the appropriate tasks to that week to get this done by this deadline. This to-do list is going to be used for any office supply orders that I need to make. I have to make sure we never run out of any office or lab supplies, but I also don't want to waste time, so I batch the orders and also do an inventory of supplies on specific scheduled days. Office supplies get ordered once a month because we don't go through them that quickly, so it makes sense for me to keep them all on one page. For the lab supplies, I have this Excel file that I print out each week that lists the minimum number of items to have on hand for each supply. This page is going to be used for weekly checklists because they happen week after week. I decided that I wanted to just make my own stickers this year. Didn't want to have to write it over and over again, but I also wanted to be able to check it off as I get each thing done because that really motivates me. The weekly checklist has reminders specific to planning and also to tasks that need to get done once a week or every couple of weeks for my job. For example, in terms of planning, it tells me that I need to plan the next week. It tells me that during the 4th week of the month, I need to process the monthly list. It tells me when I need to review certain sheets, like the ongoing reminder sheet and the annual tasks sheet. For my job, it reminds me to prepare for my next meeting with my boss and to place lab orders. And in regard to ongoing projects, the weekly checklist says to review ongoing projects sheets during weeks 1 and 3. And that means that I need to flip through my ongoing projects sheets and make sure that everything is up to date and no tasks need to be transferred to my this week section. Some months, of course, have 5 weeks. So in those situations, I will add this extra sticker over on this sheet and cover up this section here. One of my goals for my work planner this year was to stop overscheduling myself every week. It wastes time because then I have to rewrite tasks over and over again because I don't have enough time to complete them. So I'm incorporating some changes to my weekly layout to try to address this. In order to plan out the work week, I'm going to start by pulling out the planning routine insert and using that as a guide. Step 1 is to set up the sidebar, which contains an ongoing projects and at waiting for section. So the first section is called at waiting for, which is a context list like the ones that David Allen discusses in his book, Getting Things Done. Essentially, these are tasks that I'm waiting for someone else to complete before I can move on to the next step. I usually work on this list on Friday as I'm migrating incomplete tasks to the following week. I send out quick emails before migrating them to the next week. The second section is for ongoing projects. And this tells me which of the ongoing projects are currently active, meaning that I have tasks that I need to work on. When I'm planning out my week, I list out the active projects in this section after double checking the ongoing projects sheets. And the reason why I like to have this list is because my boss sometimes asks during meetings what projects we are currently working on. So I need to be able to have a list of what those are so I can quickly tell him. In the first video of this series, I showed you how there is going to be this to-do list sheet behind each tab of ongoing projects. Tasks get added to ongoing projects sheets as I'm assigned to tasks by my boss. So this is typically through an email or in a meeting that I am assigned these tasks. So after I read the email or after that meeting, I will pull out each of the action items from, say, my meeting notes, which I keep in a separate notebook, and I add that to my planner in the relevant location. For example, if my boss says during the meeting that he needs me to ship cells to an institution as soon as possible. So because this is time sensitive, I would add to my planner for that day that I need to look on FileMaker for U87 cell line inventory. And under that, check ongoing projects for next action. Under the next action steps for that project on the ongoing projects sheet, it would say initiate a material transfer agreement, then collect IBC documents, send those documents, prepare the chain of custody forms, schedule a shipment date. And so after I check the inventory, I schedule in when I will work on the next action step, which would be initiate a material transfer agreement. In my work planner, I like to convert Saturday and Sunday into a second sidebar. So I'm going to label this section this week, and it's going to be broken up into 6 different subsections, which we'll discuss later on in this video. Step 2 is to schedule in meetings, appointments, and events. And in order to do this, I check the monthly calendar to know the times and dates for these meetings. Step 3 is to add this week tasks time blocks. These are basically time blocks that have check boxes. So during this week time blocks, I will pull from any of the 6 sections, keeping the priority and context in mind. Typically, high priority ranks above the other 5 sections, so I always want to pull from there until all of those tasks have been completed. You'll notice that each day is kind of broken up into different time blocks, starting at a certain time each day, but each day does not start at the same time because my schedule changes day to day. So say for example, I am going to be working from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, but maybe I'm working from 9 to 5 on Friday. The 4th step is to add complete weekly checklist to Friday as a task. And this is just to remind myself to take a look at what is assigned for the weekly checklist. And then I will work my way through that checklist and try to get it all done. Migrate incomplete tasks. For this step, I would reference my previous week and add any tasks into my schedule that didn't get done. Step 6 is to schedule in monthly list tasks with deadlines. So while reviewing my monthly list, I schedule the tasks with an upcoming deadline into those days that they need to get completed. For example, I have to thaw cytokines on Monday because I need them for an experiment later that day, so it is getting scheduled into Monday. Step 7 is to fill in the sections in the sidebar with tasks. So now I'm going to fill in my @waiting for with any tasks that are on the monthly list. And in this case, it is to go through all of Eric's items and the -80 and -20 once his paper is published. And then I'll fill in my active ongoing projects, which I can determine by checking my ongoing projects tabs and seeing which projects have action items at the moment. So it's literally just a list of what projects are active. Step number 8 is to add tasks without deadlines to the this week section. So I'm adding in these unscheduled tasks to this week, and this week is composed of 6 subsections, which include data analysis, management, to delegate, as well as high, medium, and low priority tasks. So the reason why there are these 6 subsections is because 3 of them are context lists, like the ones from getting things done at computer, at home, etc. Except for me, the context is whether or not I have collected the data for that week. Then I can work on the data analysis. And lab management is usually done at the end of the day when I feel tired, and I can work on things that take up less energy, like restocking, placing orders, submitting facilities requests, etc. The to delegate section is for things that I need to discuss during my meetings with the individual that I'm supervising and things that I need to delegate to him. The last section of my planner is for stickers. So this planner comes with this sticker sheet, which I've been using to set up my planner today, but it also comes with this folder. So I thought it'd be a good idea to take plastic patches and then use them to hold stickers. So I have weekly checklist stickers, meaning stickers, header stickers. You could even put a sheet of stickers in here. And I labeled these using clear stickers that I printed titles on using Microsoft Word. The other tool that I use in my planning system is my Correlatives notebook. I use my Correlatives notebook to reference notes on any subject related to my job, and I add new notes to this throughout the year as I learn new information. Last year, this was kept in my planner, but because I wanted to add the new ongoing project section to my planner this year, I decided to kind of separate it. I actually check this notebook a lot, and it gives me peace of mind that I won't have to worry about forgetting anything important. So this is my work planner for 2023. I hope that this gave you some ideas for setting up your work planner, whether or not you have a job that is similar to mine. I feel like some of these ideas can be applied towards your planner as well. I'll see you next Saturday. Bye!
Everything stops when you move like that, yeah. Everything stops when you move.